Hello and welcome into the Northwest Bank Studios for the Daily Clone here on a Tuesday presented by Whiskey River. The Cyclones don't play Saturday, which means no tailgating. You should hit up Whiskey River in either Ankeny or Ames, get some great food, drink some cold beer, and watch a great slate of Big 12 football. We're doing a little something different today. I sat down with Cyclone Fanatics Chris Williams, and we gave our position grades for every position group on the offensive side of the ball. You can watch that entire interview after a couple of words from our sponsors.
Looking for a good time? Thought so. Whiskey River is just the place. We've got the booze, the food, the vibe, and the amazing rooftop patio. The only thing missing is you. Whiskey River.
The Neil Diamond Musical, A Beautiful Noise, the uplifting true story, featuring all the songs you love from his Grammy Award-winning career. October 21st through 26th at Des Moines Civic Center. On sale at dmpa.org.
All right, I'm here with the general manager of Cyclone Fanatic, the chief publisher.
Big words.
Now author. What else?
Well, not yet. It's not out yet, so they still got to put it out.
Sorry, I'll knock on wood.
And people have to buy
Future
it.
author.
Yeah.
Future author.
Aspiring author.
Chris Williams, we've run into some controversy. We've both said that the first quarter of the season is over, when technically I guess it's the first third of the season.
Oh.
But it makes more sense to say the first quarter. Like it feels like we're in a commercial break right now on the bye week.
Yes.
So we're just going to call it the first quarter.
It feels like the first half of the season is over.
Or the entire season.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a long haul. But, I mean, 4-0 on a bye week, give me a break. Let's go. It's perfect.
I mean, it beats 3-1. It beats 2-2. I think we've seen 1-3.
Yeah, I mean, I just think back to like the seasons where they would lose to you and I in the first game, and just how miserable those times were.
Oh gosh.
Like truly, truly miserable starts to the season. And sign me up for this any day, baby.
So we're going to grade every position group. Today we're going to do offense. Tomorrow we'll do defense, special teams. So let's just start with the most important position, and that's Rocco Becht. I guess the quarterback room in general. Mansky as well. Let's do the quarterbacks room, and you give it an A.
Rocco's been great. If anything, I mean, he hasn't gotten a ton of help, I would say. Like the running game has been good, but somewhat inconsistent. A lot of drops by the wide receivers. Rocco Becht has been the most, other than Dominic Orange and probably John Tez Williams, the most consistent player on Iowa State's roster. I don't know. Gabe Burkle would have a argument with that, I think. Mm-hmm. He'd be in that conversation. But you get an A, and then you also... aiding that is when Alex Mansky came in and looked really competent against. I mean, think about like how Mansky looked compared to J.J. Cole when he got that run against North Dakota. Like totally different. Like not taking a shot at it. J.J. just didn't look ready. We're like Mansky. I don't want to see him in a Big 12 game, but he looked pretty competent out there. And that's your third string guy with Moberly being injured. Hopefully not for very long. So they get an A, no question.
Yeah, I agree, and I think an A leaves it open to an A+ in the future, because I don't think Rocco would give himself an A+, and I think like A+ was him in the second half against K-State and what we saw against South Dakota. I think A is a fair grade overall, though, because he hasn't been completely perfect, which isn't even fair to expect out of anybody.
He's probably right now the best quarterback in the Big 12.
Yeah.
The Utah kid has an argument. You know, he wants
country, like he's up there. John Mateer, Oklahoma, like he is in the conversation so far for best quarterback in college football. So I agree, firm A. Running backs.
Let's go. I'll give him a solid B, maybe a B-. Like I think there's another level there, and so much of what they do is dictated on the line and the play calling as well. I'll say this. It feels like Abu Sama is ascending.
I agree.
I feel like he's ready to break out, and I kind of hinted at that in fall camp. He was my like buy your stock low guy throughout fall camp, and it just he's running more with a purpose. He still will bounce out every once in a while when he shouldn't. So I'll just go B- because I think that there's a lot. I know that Hansen will do more. Like, I'm not worried about that. And I think that they played pretty good run defenses so far. And I think if they could do the Arkansas State game again, they probably would have done that more, to be honest.
100%.
So I don't blame the running backs for any of that. It took a while in the opener, but I think they're really good. Give me a B-, but I'm with a little arrow pointing up, a little green arrow pointing up for those guys.
I would love to go check my sources on this, but it's very difficult. I think Abu Sama has had probably 10% of the negative runs that he had last year or even the year before that. Like, I just think this offense has been in 2nd and 13 way less than they were last year.
I would agree with that.
I don't want to pin it on one guy because obviously the O-line has to get blown up for that to happen too. But I think when Sama has found himself in tougher situations, he has turned that into 0 or 1 yards way more this year than he has in the past. And I think that's probably his biggest growth that he needed.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it never felt last year like Sama was seeing the field that well. The vision wasn't there. And I think Carson Hansen, it's more of a product of just put him in the right spot and we know what he's going to do. And I have a lot of respect for both of those guys. So B-, but I don't necessarily blame them. I'm literally putting the minus there because I just think they have a lot of room to grow. I don't want to grade them too high.
Gosh, we're both in check. I'd B- as well.
Okay, great. We have not gone through this, by the way.
This could be a disagreement. This could go all over the place. The wide receiver room.
Ooh.
Depending on the quarter, probably.
Yeah, and this also depends on like just your criteria.
And your expectation.
My expectations were probably higher for Overby. He's been I don't want to call him a disappointment. That's not correct. Because he hasn't played that much. I think Brett Edskelson has been like an A. Like for me, like that's a guy who, and I had high expectations for him, but he's lived up to everything for me. I think Overby is probably underachieved just a little bit with some drops and stuff, but he still had a good year. He has 2 touchdowns, right? Like he's had a good year. I'm not going to give him like a D or anything. The transfers have been less than exciting given all the hype, but if you listened to me all summer, I didn't anticipate we would see a ton from him until, a month into the season. So we're getting there. Townsend was the leading receiver, I believe, against Arkansas State. Sowell's had 2 catches in each of the last game. I will give the wide receivers a C.
Gosh dang, C-Dub. That's what I had.
Well, we're both sick. I mean, we follow this team so closely, so it doesn't shock me. But I will give them a C with the caveat of there's just a lot of these guys, and it feels like somebody's going to like catch it and just figure it out.
Yeah.
And they haven't been bad. They've just kind of been there. That Iowa game, they dropped a lot of passes. They did the same thing again. Like, it's just like these A plays that they could make. They're not coming down with it. And to that level, I give them a C.
The reason that I think it's a C and not like a C plus is Rocco's completion percentage should probably be 5% higher. Where he's placing these balls.
He's unbelievable, right?
Like I get there are some drops, like especially in that Arkansas State game. There were a couple where it's like you should probably catch that, but that's a tough catch. The drops against Iowa could not have been placed any better. And that's where
it could have cost him the game.
Yeah, if you compare it to last year, Higgins, Knoll, Burkle, like those guys aren't dropping those balls. So that's where there's room for improvement, but I do think Askelson has been a very good surprise. And that leads pretty nicely probably into the tight ends room. This one, it's probably got to be an A-, but I'm interested to see where you go.
A- was what I had in my mind.
Yeah.
I just...
Probably an A if Bramer doesn't drop that pass against Arkansas State.
That's too fresh. Burkle's an A. Bramer's right there. I mean, and then you look at the depth, and not even just those guys, but the guys blocking. It's a really good group. If you're going to tell me to do position rankings, I would still put that as the strongest position group on right there with quarterback. Quarterback is ascending because Rocco is becoming the guy who we wanted him to be. But I think it would be like a 1A, 1B tight end quarterback. I don't have anything negative to say about the tight ends. Just catch the damn ball and stay healthy.
Yeah, they're only going to get better, I think, as a unit. Tyler Moore is really coming on as a pass
great
catcher.
game. Great game for him.
Again, they've played good defense. Well, we thought K-State was a good defense, but Iowa's a really good defense, and Phil Parker is about as good as it gets, and he was really able to make it difficult for Iowa State to get the ball to their tight ends. It took pretty much for Gabe Burkle to have a catch. It took a tip pass that was tipped twice, a trick play. Like, Parker was making it tough on those guys. So I think once they get into Big 12 play and see some not so great defenses, there could be a game where Burkle and Bramer and Moore combined to have like 200 yards. That would not shock me at all.
Me neither.
And that leaves us with the offensive line. The offensive line that's hyped up endlessly.
I give them a B.
Yeah.
I give them a B. I just think that they've been fine. I thought they performed really well against Iowa and that defensive front. The second half against Kansas State was a clinic. And then I'm not really counting much from the other two games. I think they could have looked really good against Arkansas State. The other thing to factor in is they've been down the guy who I was hearing out of camp is the best lineman, which is Trevor Bohr. And he played, I think, 20 snaps or something like that against Arkansas State. So you get him back. I think they've been a solid B. I don't think they've been like this dominant A. I think they've definitely been above average, which would be a C. So, yeah, I'll give them a B. What about you?
Yeah, I was in that B- to B range. I think the pass protection has maybe taken a bit of a step back, and I don't know if that's just not having your NFL draft pick in Jalen Travis, but the run blocking, again, back to the negative plays, if Abu Sama gets some credit for that, I think the O-line needs credit for it as well. They've really just, even against these front sevens like Iowa and K-State, I feel like they've cut out a lot of these plays that are completely getting blown up at the start, and I just think they've taken a step forward, and they've got a chance to, when we talk in mid-December, to get up to a B+.
Completely agree, and I think a lot of the pass pro stuff too could be your receivers getting open, as you mentioned, and
yeah.
I think Rocco in that first game held onto the ball too long, and I think he would admit that. And I think too, there's a handful of these sacks have been on the running backs and not picking guys up. So listen, it is, again, it hasn't been dominant, but it's certainly been more consistent and better than we've seen early on. I think maybe not ever in the Matt Campbell era, but it's definitely one of his best lines, one of the 2 or 3 best lines of the Matt Campbell era, no doubt.
So we go A for quarterback, B- for the running backs, a C for the receivers, A- for the tight end, or did you go A for the tight ends?
I went A- because I just think that they've got another gear.
A- for the tight ends, and we'll go B for the offensive linemen.
I think that's fair.
Tune in on Wednesday's Daily Clone, and we will talk defense position grades.